Hey there guys, this is Luvatar343. I'm an off-tank for 7 Sins Upper Division, and this is my casting tryout video. I've got the VOD from SWIYA and Mercury Cougars from their Week 1 matchup, and I'll be doing the first two maps, which is Hollywood and I believe uh, Oasis. But we'll see we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I think I know roughly how to pronounce everyone's names. I'm going to pretend that this is an actual match, right? So I'm going to introduce the teams, introduce the league a bit, as necessary, just to kind of get people into the flow. And yeah, let's just jump into it. Welcome back, everyone, to the first week of the 4th season of Overwatch Pretenders. I'm Aluvatar343, joined by no co-caster today. As we watch the opening match for both these teams, we have SWIYA, single women in your area, in the blue, and then Mercury Cougars, who I'm just going to refer to as MC to save myself 3 or 4 syllables there, in red. We have the starting lineups: Costanza, a great Doomfist, probably forced onto tanks in the current meta. Silver Sax, who's typically a support. Satiric Sloth, Raven on the Brig, Pig Dog, Rhine, and Pichu, another DPS flex support. That's SWIYA's starting lineup. And then for Mercury Cougars, we have Cryptic, usually the Reinhardt, K-Boogie, Eodin, Rushpert, who usually plays Zen, Chess, and finally Herbs. There are a couple subs. We'll get to them as they come into the game in later maps. We are on Hollywood for our first point. SWIYA is attacking. Looks like they're gonna start on. I'm gonna assume that Wrecking Ball doesn't stick, probably just messing around at spawn. But assuming everything else stays the same, they're gonna come out on Somber Goats. Meanwhile, for SWIYA, rather than going with the ever popular bunker strat on top of Cafe, they're just going to take the mirror matchup to pull out their own goats, Rhine goats with Zen. So we have a pretty standard mirror matchup with perhaps a Sombra. Uh, Now, if K-Boogie actually stays on this Wrecking Ball, I will be shocked. It'd be very interesting, but I don't know how that would work exactly. So in all likelihood, we'll be getting a Rhine goats v Sombra goats matchup here. First point, Hollywood. Not particularly notable in terms of favorability either way. Uh, Bunker, I think, is particularly strong here, but like I said, SWIYA has chosen to go against it, and MC is indeed coming out with that Somber Goats comp. Interesting setup from Raven here on the high ground, perhaps expecting some sort of floats play. Winston Goats trying to deny that easy dive onto the high ground, but he's probably going to drop down immediately when he sees this Rhine Goats comp. Somber poking in from security, probably looking for a sneaky hack. Meanwhile, we have Pig Dog and Pichu rotating forward, nice little bubble rotation there to build some energy, and Mercury Cougars isn't going to capitalize on the bubble opening. Huge hack onto Costanza on the Diva, and the Brig overextends with no DM and is taken out. Raven down. Pig Dog in trouble here as MC pushes in, and Pig Dog will also fall. So this fight's all but over. Big hack onto the Diva, a little bit of miscommunication with Raven getting too overextended, and Mercury Cougars capitalizes. I really think that comes down to the hack because the bubble rotation was honestly fine. The aggression, it's a little aggressive, but it wasn't overly aggressive. Which means you need the DM to save anyone who gets booped out of position or who overextends. But with no hack, really left Raven out on an island there, and he overextended as well, but could have been saved had that hack not been off. So that's the first point in very blazing fast time here for MC. And we'll go on to second. SWIYA setting up in street space. We got Costanza still on the Diva up top. Huge hack from Chess onto the Zen. Nice lobby screen here. We don't quite know what's going on. It looks like that Zen was taken out by Chess, who has now built EMP and throws EMP here. Interesting choice to EMP after Raven went down to the Fire Strike. But I guess they wanted to capitalize and make sure they got this win off. Probably could have saved it. They're fighting 6-on-4, but it's a fight win, and they still have a lot of ultimates online. They have Shatter, Grav, all 3 support ults. Compared to SWIYA, not quite as up there in Lucio Charge. Don't quite have the Diva Bomb because Costanza's died fast a couple times, but they do have Grav and Shatter of their own. I wonder which side's going to rally first. I expect the other one to rally, counter rally. Huge shatter here from Cryptic. Interesting grab choice from Pichu there. So that was very odd. A little bit of an overuse of ults probably. Cryptic lands a huge shatter. I think it was a hack shatter. And Pichu throws the grab on top of it, which is possibly an overcommitment as is. But then with his team mostly dead, Pichu throws in the grab, and there's no one there to follow up on it. Four members of SWIYA had already fallen. So that's an unfortunate overextension, and now MC pushing forward, looking for stagger kills. Big block from Cryptic there on Pig Dog Shatter. Not going to be able to follow that up at all. We have the Sombra poking on high ground. Looks like MC is just going to fall back and stabilize here at the start of third. Bomb coming in from Costanza as the EMP comes in from Chess. So that bomb is actually either a Galaxy brain play or super, super lucky. Costanza threw the bomb as his whole team was getting EMP'd, and MC can't follow up on the 5-man EMP from Chess. Um, and they don't even need to burn either Zen or Lucio's ultimates. I'm not sure which of them were hacked, but that bomb is actually huge um, in terms of preventing that wipe there. So MC's going to stick on the Somber Goats on third point. Not as easy to get those hacks off here, I don't think. It's a little more narrow, easy to spy check for her, but they're sticking with it. It's worked so far. They have both teams still have their Zen and Lucio ults online. Pichu has Grav, way ahead of K Boogie on that front. Ryan, but the Reinhardt goes down. Late trans from Silver Sacks couldn't keep his main tank up. Now MC should really be able to push forward here. Oh, huge eat from Costanza onto the grab from K-Boogie, but he's immediately demeched, and the beat comes in reflexively, so he probably thought that grab had landed and was just throwing it out to perhaps either save the Diva or just thinking that his team had gotten grabbed. But it's unnecessary in the end. Big shatter here from Cryptic. He's trying to push forward, but no kills. And now the counter grab in from Pichu, followed by a beat shatter. Wow, this is a real mess of a fight here. We had a grab in from Pichu, then we had double support ults from MC, which is usually not something you want to do unless you're going to get bomb grabbed. But the follow-up shatter from Pig Dog allows SWIYA to clean up that fight, even through both the trans and the beat. So we had a ton of ults thrown in that fight. Both grabs, both shatters, both sides used both their Zen and Lucio ults. So we are making a very interesting switch here. Silver Swack swapping from the Zen onto the Ana. That's usually a good counter against a team running Somber Goats because they don't have a Diva to eat those anti-nades. Pushing forward here, Raven and Pig Dog. Costanza dropping down to help them out. Big hack onto Pig Dog. Not sure that MC's pushing in, and they will be able to follow up on it with the rally aggression. They should be able to clean this up now. They've got they're up one. The bomb into the back line. Cryptic has to peel back to deal with it, and now they can reaggress here before Pig Dog can respawn. Still looking for that next pick, though. SWIYA's holding out really well here against MC. Big EMP gets 3, including the Lucio. K-Boogie pressuring down the Diva, but he's low himself. He throws grab. Big anti onto the back line of MC, and are they even going to be follow-up on the grab? Oh, another huge shatter from Cryptic. Man, the shatters in this game have been fat. Cryptic now going to clean up that after that shatter. That fight looked like it might be in trouble for MC after the grab was countered by the ult, but Cryptic's shatter really saved it. Oh, they're throwing in all the panic ults now to try to stall Nano onto Brig, beat from the Lucio, and it looks like they might actually be able to hold this. What? Wow, that Brig lived for so long on point, and the double support ults to keep her alive. SWIYA's going to be able to hold for just a little bit longer here. Another big shatter from Cryptic, and an even bigger shatter from Pig Dog. It's a 5-man shatter, forcing the trans out of Rushpert. No kills after either of the shatter, and here's the 4-man EMP from Chess. That should do it. Cryptic chasing down this Lucio, gets the hammer kill. Brig gets the kill onto Pig Dog. Bomb in from Costanza, gets nothing. Bubble back up for Pichu, but he's down. Costanza's still on point, but this is just a matter of time here. The Brig coming in with Rally, but she's not going to last long. 6-on-1. Lasts a little bit longer than I thought. Whoa, that's a funny pin onto Rushpert. That's unfortunate. He might have got booped into that. Lucio going to go down here. Ana coming in. She's not even going to be able to touch. And that's third point taken for MC. Honestly, if you're SWIYA, you got pushed pretty fast through first point, and I don't even think on second point they want to fight. So getting the time bank down to 114 with a really good hold on third, they've got to be pretty happy with that. that stall with the Brig. That Brig lived for so long with both the Nano and the Beat. The Rhine kind of went off on a Narnia charge, and that took him away from the range where he could do damage to her. I mean, that stall from think it was Raven on the Brig is huge. I also really like that swap onto Ana from Silver Sacks. I think that was a great move, and it worked out for them. She landed a couple big antes, and I think that slowed down MC's push. But now we'll see MC defend on first. I suspect that SWIYA is just going to come out on goats again, at least to start. I'm interested to see if MC maybe pulls out a bunker comp, and it looks like they will. Looks like they're going to go with a Bastion and an Ashe as the second DPS. That's an interesting pick. More traditionally, you'll see a Hanzo or a Junkrat. But Ashe is viable. The Dynamites can be pretty big, especially against a really bunched up goats team. And K Boogie does swap from Hog onto Diva, which I mean, I know Hog is the higher DPS, but you just get so much utility from the defense matrix and the mobility of the Diva. Um, so this is a pretty standard bunker comp coming out from MC. And for SWIYA, it looks like they're just going to start out on Rhine Goats with Zen. Now this is a little tough to take fighting into bunker as goats. You can either stand on the point, just underneath the bunker and just wait it out with your big health pools. Then you really have to target focus whoever drops down. You can try to rush into the bunker, which is a little bit easier if they don't have a Junkrat, but with the Baptiste Immortality field, that's still strong. Or you can just swap to more of a floats comp or something with Sombra that lets you break it. Looks like SWIYA is going to be rotating around, sticking on this Rhine Goats for the moment. They're kind of stuck in spawn here, and it looks like they're pulling back, perhaps going for a swap now. Yeah, it looks like Pig Dog's heading back towards spawn. He sees this bunker. They don't want to run Rhine Goats into this. Let's see what they actually pull out. Costanza onto the Sombra, Pig Dog onto Winston, and then they move Peachy from the Zarya to the Diva. Interesting there that it's actually Pichu. Excuse me, it's not Pichu going onto the Sombra. I guess they just trust Costanza's Sombra a lot more. Winston taking a jump back here, and wonder if they're trying to stage a dive from two directions. That's a little hard to do into Bastion because you have to make sure you DM all the damage into him as Diva. A little bit tough to take from two angles. Costanza going to be running around the back here, probably looking to get behind that bunker, set up some hacks, build up that EMP. Honestly, if you're SWIYA here, you can really slow push this and just give Costanza time to build EMP. It looks like he's in the background poking in some damage. Builds 30% of that, 40% of that EMP, and SWIYA doesn't even take a real engagement here. So lots of inactivity right now. The bunker comp kind of sitting around. Everyone on SWIYA, aside from Costanza, kind of sitting around, just waiting. Costanza in the backline again, up to his antics. Looks like he's doing some damage somewhere, and he just built up 90% of his EMP. I'm not sure who exactly he was attacking there. Maybe it was K Boogie. Diva is really easy to farm for EMP. I mean, I could say that as a Diva player playing against a Sombra who knows how to farm you is super frustrating. But she's going to have that EMP for this fight, and I bet she's going to just try to throw that in, and then they're going to dive hard on the Bastion. It's going to be up to the Baptiste to survive and try to avoid the hack and use the Immortality field to keep them up. Costanza now has the EMP online. I think he's behind them somewhere. He dies to the Mercy? Okay, not sure quite how that happened. We were looking at the Bastion, who's just kind of staring down the. You could see the outlines of SWIYA in the back there. I think the Sombra must have come into the back line, maybe went for a hack into an EMP or something, but something happened where Eowyn on the Mercy was able to gun him down. Here's the translocator in, 5-man EMP, Bastion erased immediately on the dive, follow up onto the Orisa. Eowyn's going to be able to get the res off onto the Bastion before dying as well. Pig Dog takes her out. I don't think this Bastion is going to be able to do much here, honestly. Like, the point is basically taken. K-Boogie stalling out here while SWIYA pushing forward, perhaps a little bit unwisely, while K-Boogie just stalls against your healers. Throwing bomb onto point. Doesn't get anything, just able to remech. Bob thrown onto point now, so MC coming back. Oh, but Bob's hacked. That's a huge hack onto Bob. Can't capitalize. Beat and Primal out of SWIYA, just trying to seal this up. Big bomb out of Pichu. That's a 2-man bomb. That should clean it up, getting the Bastion and the Winston who was trying to hide in the corner. Baby Diva taken out. Sombra with the pocket Mercy. Sombra's down. Mercy, who used Valk, is just going to drop onto point here, and there she goes, accepting her fate. So it was definitely a slow push. Costanza got, like, they burned 30 seconds off that time just by killing Costanza with a Mercy. But they eventually do get that EMP off, break the bunker. Like, it's just super hard to hold against that EMP. You're also clumped up anyway. It's not like you have a great defensive ult, and that's going to be that. Costanza now swapping back onto the Zarya. So SWIYA now playing a floats essentially, while MC, not essentially, they are playing floats with an Ana rather than a Zen. Oh boy, we've lost Raven. There goes the break for SWIYA. F in the chat for that, boys. Pig Dog beat me to it, as did Cher. Um, so we'll have to wait for him to come back. I assume just some sort of internet trouble, so it goes. But let's take a moment to talk about how second point's going to go here. Um, MC coming out with the full dive, the Genji Tracer dive into floats. That's definitely a comp that has fallen out of favor. Because as Tracer and Genji, it's just tough to get anything done. The core of a Goat's team has so much beefiness, and there's so much peel ability with the Brig and D.Va, and the fact that they're so clumped together. It's even hard to get onto the one squishy, which is usually an Ana or a Zen. Plus, if you're pressuring it that hard, the main healer could just go Moira and have more survivability, more heals, more self-defense ability. So this is going to be tough to pull off for MC. SWIYA, meanwhile, has made an interesting swap on their defense. It was Pichu on the Zarya and Costanza on the D.Va. I wonder if this is something they had planned or if this is just a rotation that's happened due to them playing Somber Goats at first. Um, I mean, assuming usually if you're a flex tank, you're decently comfortable on both of these heroes. Hog's in the dumpster, so you really don't play Hog anymore, except on, I suppose, Ilios well, and maybe if you're doing Pyro Chip on Junkertown or something like that. But if you're an off tank, you're most likely proficient on both, and I'm wondering what the impetus behind swapping them is. Uh, Looks like Raven's back. We're going to get him back in the lobby, and we will restart here. Not the map, just get things going again on second point. I imagine SWIYA is going to pull back. It's not like they had a ton of momentum here. They'll just back off, get Raven reincorporated, and then come back to point and engage from there. I wonder if they might swap Pig Dog to Ryan actually here. Just go full goats rather than floats. Brian, Winston Goat's definitely viable on this point. Interestingly, Pichu standing still on point. Pig Dog got melted while Pichu was maybe adjusting settings or something. They're able to jump out and back up. Cryptic going very deep here, and he doesn't get punished. But that was a risky play there. Things look like they're reset now. Hopefully Pichu's got that sorted out. And SWIYA will be coming in now with the floats. Diving onto point. Costanza high energy here, trying to melt through Cryptic's ulting Winston. Big anti onto the backline, the D.Va and the Brig here, but it looks like SWIYA is going to be able to stabilize just because their health pools are so beefy and the damage from MC isn't super high. So that was actually a great ante that's MC just not able to capitalize on. And here's the grab from Costanza. High energy. That's going to melt through the support line for MC. This Winston's probably going to die here as well on cart. Perhaps he's planning to swap and just inting onto the cart. Uh, Chess back onto the Sombra, actually. No, missed that. He must have died on Tracer, and I didn't notice the swap in the process. Oh boy. We have another pause. I wonder if something else is going on with Raven. He said he had some sort of Overwatch error. Hopefully nothing serious. We could take this chance to look at the ults, ult economy for both sides. SWIYA's got not Grav, excuse me. They've got Beat, Rally, Primal, and Bomb, D.Va Bomb, while MC has only the nano, so you could definitely nano the Winston into the back line. He'll be able to do a ton of cleave because Goats play so grouped up, and should be able to live long enough with that to then build his primal. So that's a lot of disruption. And Herbs almost has his blade. Perhaps he'll actually go for a nano blade instead, but blade is so easily counterable by Goats. I almost feel like the better play is to nano the Winston and just try to disrupt SWIYA as much as possible as they make this push in. Looks like we're messing with the lobby again here. I still find it odd that this is the composition that MC has chosen to go with. Usually, I feel like this is very hard to pull off against goats. Like the Brig just exerts so much pressure on these flankers in the back line, especially the Genji. It's tough to get anything done, and you really can't do much against the tank line. We're gonna get started up again here. So Pig Dog and Pichu taking space on the high ground. That's a really smart play as dive tanks. I'd actually love to see Costanza get on the platform of Saloon at least, but it looks like he's gonna be playing low ground with the support lineup. Looks like MC's coming out of the right side of your screen. Diving towards the back line is Cryptic, but he gets stunned immediately. There's the blade and the nano onto the Genji, but Herbs is just melted immediately. He pulled out the blade, got stunned, then got nanoed, but was antied already, and just got melted in the backline with no kills. I mean, this is why running Genji into goats is tough, and why nanoing the Winston might have been a better play. SWIYA's cleaning this up now. Pichu taking out the mech, Costanza cleaning up the Baby Diva, Raven on the Brig cleaning up Rushpert on the Ana. Big hack out of Chesh, but I think it's mostly in a lost fight, even with Cryptic bouncing around here in Primal. Costanza just farming him for a grab super hard. And that looks like it's going to be the end of second point. I wonder if we see Pig Dog swap back to Rhine now. Cryptic probably wants to swap back to Rhine since he's dead at the moment. Yeah, there it is. So we've got 2 minutes left on the time bank for SWIYA to push through third point. Definitely doable. It's not an easy point to take, but it's not one that's like particularly impossible, such as, I don't know, point 3 Dorado. Pig Dog going in deep here as the Winston just getting a lot of cleave behind the Reinhardt shield, backing out now. Costanza has his grab ready. Raven was super low and discorded there, and he does go down. MC probably going to follow up this up here. Oh, flank grab by Costanza gets eaten by, that's K-Boogie on the Diva. Oh, man. He had a great chance for a grab there, but decided to back off it. Then tried to go for a sneaky grab onto the back line and got read like a book by K-Boogie, who said, nope, I'm going to take that. So that's the end of the fight, and that's a huge blow to SWIYA. That grab could have gotten them a huge chunk of the progress they need here. Now they're still stuck in these choke points coming in, and oddly, Pig Dog is still on this Winston. Really, you want to be on Reinhardt on this point, just because it's so narrow. Pig Dog nanoed, and goes into Primal, but gets grabbed by that's Chesh on the Zarya, and he's super high energy now. Big shatter out of Cryptic again. Free shatter with no Rhine on the enemy team, and MC is going to be able to clean that up, no problem. Not looking great for SWIYA at this point. Pig Dog finally switches onto Reinhardt. I mean, this is the trap that lots of teams fall into. Sometimes you're like, oh, I have ult, I don't want to switch. Sometimes it's best to realize that while you might have ult, switching will... you're just putting yourself in a suboptimal position by playing certain heroes. So we will have the mirror matchup for this last fight here. Chesh is pushed back, beat in from Satiric Sloth, but Raven goes down again. Raven has been hyper aggressive this fight, but MC has been able to punish him, and now MC folding back that aggression onto SWIYA, capitalizing to get Pig Dog, has them pinned down in spawn, a shatter from Cryptic in the spawn, basically. Pichu's going to be able to touch here, but he's got, like, I don't know, 150 health. He's not going to last long. Costanza grabs on Cart, but there's no follow-up there. The bomb is in, but there's a beat and a shield in his face. Costanza falls. Pichu almost down. Raven rallying on point, gets booped away. Is he going to be able to get back to point? Yes. So it's just the Baby Diva. Here's the trans in. So SWIYA making this last a little longer than I thought they'd be able to. Grab from that's Chesh on Zarya. Didn't really get anything. Raven got booped off Cart. Ryan comes back in and dies. So does Raven, and that's the end of it. That was a pretty long ending fight there for SWIYA. They did a good job of keeping themselves in that game, but ultimately just good target focus from MC to work through the ults and peel everything off. So we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back with map 2.